Hi everyone! Today I'm going to share my complete review of the Clone Voice AI platform. For those of you who are not familiar with this platform yet, let me explain it briefly. Clone Voice AI is a platform that allows you to clone your own voice and use it to create unlimited videos, even in other languages. This is extremely useful if you create videos for ads, or if you're a content creator on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so on, or any other platform where you need to produce a lot of content and maybe even want to create it in multiple languages. Well, this platform allows you to do exactly that. So today, I'm going to show you how this platform works. Also, if you decide to get this platform, I'll leave a link in the description of this video. And not only that, as a special bonus, I'll give you access to my AI automation course and the complete faceless YouTube guide, but only if you purchase Clone Voice AI through the link in the description of this video. So, let's get started. Let me explain how Clone Voice AI works. It's important to mention that cloning your voice is just one of the features. In fact, it's the main feature and the one that grabs your attention. But in reality, it's only one of many features. Once you access the platform, you'll realize there are many other functions that will honestly leave you amazed. They are truly impressive. Now let's start by explaining how to clone your voice. It's very simple. You're going to click on this button that says Clone Voice. When you enter the platform, this section is already selected by default. So you'll simply click here where it says Choose Instant, and once we click there, this window will open. Here you have two options. You can record using your computer's microphone. For example, if I click here where it says Record with Microphone, a window will open allowing me to record my own voice. So right now, it's recording what I'm saying. If I stop it, then I'll have my voice recording saved here, and I can use it to clone my voice. The other option is to upload a file. For example, if I click here where it says Upload File, a window will open, and here I can upload a previously recorded audio file of my voice. For instance, this one right here. I'll select the one that says Narrator 1, and if we click play, we'll be able to listen to it.
Artificial intelligence is advancing faster than any technology we've ever seen. And with every new breakthrough, the same...
Now we can clone this voice. How do we do that? It's very simple. Here, where it says Voice Name, we assign a name to it. In this case, I'll use the same name as the audio file. This is just so you can easily identify it among all your voices. Then, here, we choose the language in which this voice was originally recorded. For example, if you recorded it in Spanish, you would select Spanish. If you recorded it in Hindi, you would select Hindi. In this case, I'm going to choose English, which is the language this audio was originally recorded in. Here where it says Gender, you choose either male or female. In this case, I'll leave it set to male. Then I need to check this box right here. This is basically the terms and conditions. If you have any questions, you can read them. Everything is listed here. Now I simply click where it says Clone Voice and wait a moment. In fact, it's almost instant. As you can see here, we now have the voice called Narrator 1. If we click play, we can listen to it.
Artificial intelligence is advancing faster than any technology
We can also mark it as a favorite. This is useful when you have many voices and need to quickly find a specific one. Favorite voices always appear at the top. I can also download it or delete it. So now, let's create an audio using this voice. In this case, we're going to click where it says Create Audio. And here, for example, we'll give it a name, just to identify it. Next, where it says Select Voice, we simply choose a voice. Here we have different options. For example, I have many voices showing up here, but these are system voices, meaning they are already stored within the Clone Voice AI platform.
Hey, this is what I sound like. You can use me for narration, videos, or any project you imagine.
Hey, this is what I sound like. You can use me for narration.
Now, where it says Select Category, you can switch between different types of voices. We have system voices and cloned voices. We also have designed voices and a library. In fact, we also have a voice library, and in a moment, I'll explain those voices in more detail. And then we have designed voices. For example, here I have one that I just created. I'll also show you how that works in a moment. In this case, we're going to select the cloned category, and here we have all the voices we've cloned using this platform. I'm simply going to select the one called Narrator 1.
Artificial intelligence.
And it will automatically appear here as selected. Next, under Original Language, we'll leave it set to English unless you plan to create a video in another language. If that's the case, you would select a different language. We also have the option to translate the script. If I select another language, it gives me the option to translate, but first we need to have a script. So first, I'm going to create a script. Here it asks what type of script we want to create. In this case, I'm going to choose a central topic about whether AI will eventually replace jobs. I think it's an interesting topic that we can create a video around. Then, under Category, we select one of the available options, such as short videos, children's stories, and so on. In this case, I'm going to select the option that says YouTube Video Script. In this optional field, we can add a URL. That means if we want the AI to pull all the information from a specific web page, we can paste it here. If not, it's not necessary. We can simply generate the script, or we can check this box so the AI automatically searches for all relevant information related to this topic, and then generates the script for us. So now we're going to click here where it says Generate Script, and we'll wait a moment. And that's it. Our script has now been generated. As you can see, it's a pretty complete script. So now, to create the audio, we're simply going to check this box and accept the terms and conditions, just like we did before, and then click where it says Create New Audio. We click it. Okay, now it asks me to select the voice. It looks like it was deselected when I changed the language, so now we're going to click Create again, and it won't let me. It seems that it's forcing me to translate it. So let's go ahead and translate it just so you can see an example. In this case, we'll select Spanish and click Translate, and our script will be translated automatically. All right, in this case, I'm going to refresh the page and repeat the entire process again to generate the audio in English. Okay, now we have the script here again. For example, here it asks me to enter my name, so I'll type Alex, and I think that's everything. So now we'll check this box and click Create New Audio. Now it takes us to a second step where we need to review each block. In other words, the platform has separated the entire script into small paragraphs, each one in a different block. This allows us to add a different emotion to each sentence. In the first one, we'll select Default, and in the second one, we'll select Surprised. We can also add different types of expressions. This is a long pause. And this is a short pause.
Achoo!
I'm going to add this one here just to see how it sounds, and then we'll click where it says Generate Audio. Now we just have to wait for it to finish processing. All right, as you can see, our audio has already been generated. It took about 1 minute to generate, which is pretty fast. So if we click play, we'll be able to listen to it.
Hey everyone, it is Alex here, and today we're tackling a question that has probably crossed most of our minds. Will AI eventually replace our jobs? It is a big, scary question, and honestly, the answer isn't a simple yes or no.
Okay, as you can tell, it didn't generate the laughter. I'm not exactly sure what the reason is, but what it did change was the tone to a more surprised tone in the second paragraph.
Oh, we're going to dive into the reality of what is happening, bust some myths, and talk about tackling a question that has probably crossed most of our minds. Will AI eventually...
So here we have different options. We can download it, edit it, clone it, or delete it. For example, I'm going to click on Edit. I'm not exactly sure why the laughter wasn't generated, but I'll test it later using one of the system voices. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with it. Now we're going to set all the paragraphs to surprised. All right, now let's regenerate the audio. We click here and wait a moment. In the meantime, let's try creating a new voice, but this time using a system voice. So we'll go back to where it says Create Audio, and we'll use the same topic. However, in this case, we're going to select a system voice. I think any of them will work, so let's choose Adam. Now we'll leave it in English and generate a script. In this case, I'm going to use the same topic as before, but this time I'll choose a script for short videos, such as Reels, TikTok, or YouTube Shorts. We select it, and I'm going to check this box so the AI searches the web for content related to this topic and generates the script for me. Now let's click on Generate Script. Alright, now we have it. As you can see, this script is much shorter since it's meant for short vertical videos. So now we check this box, click on Generate New Audio, and it takes me to the second step where we choose the emotions. In this case, I'm going to add an expression. I'll choose this one here, and let's see how it sounds. Now I'll choose another one. It tells us that we can add up to 5 tags, meaning 5 expressions. Apparently, this feature is still in beta, so it may still have some issues. That might be the reason why the expression wasn't generated earlier, but let's try it again. Alright, let's add this one here, and then we'll add this other one. Well, this one right here. Alright, now we have 3 expressions added. So now let's generate the audio. Alright, now we just have to wait. But in the meantime, let's listen to how the audio we generated earlier turned out.
Hey everyone, it is Alex here, and today we're tackling a question that has probably crossed most of our minds. Will AI eventually replace our jobs? It is a big, scary question. And honestly, the answer isn't a simple yes or no. We're going to...
Okay, as you can tell, now the entire script sounds much more emotional. In my opinion, it sounds good. So here we can either share it or download it to our computer. Now let's listen to this audio that was just generated for YouTube Shorts.
Is AI going to take your job? The headlines are scary, right? Everyone's panicking about robots replacing us. Here is the truth. It is not about replacement. It is about transformation. AI will automate repetitive tasks, sure. But it is also creating new roles and making human skills like creativity, critical thinking, and emotional intelligence more valuable. Think of it as a superpowered co-pilot, not a competitor. Adapt, learn, evolve. What do you think? Drop your thoughts below and follow for more tech insights.
Okay, it looks like the expressions didn't play, but let's edit it and change the emotion. Let's set it to happy and see how it sounds. And what I'm noticing is that it removed the expressions I had previously added. This is probably still under development, so I'm hoping that we'll be able to use these expressions without any issues in the future. But anyway, that's not a big deal. So far, I think it sounds good. Let's regenerate the audio again, but this time with a happy emotion. Alright, it's done. So now let's listen to how it turned out.
Is AI going to take your job? The headlines are scary, right? Everyone's panicking about robots replacing us. Here's the truth. It's not about replacement, it's about transformation. AI will automate repetitive tasks, sure, but it's also creating new roles and making human skills like creativity, critical thinking, and emotional intelligence more valuable. Think of it as a superpowered co-pilot, not a competitor. Adapt, learn, evolve. What do you think? Drop your thoughts below and follow for more tech insights.
Okay, I think this one turned out a little better, at least in my opinion. Of course, it also depends on the type of video you want to create. Let me know in the comments what you think about this audio. Now let's test the other options. For example, if I download this audio and then go here where it says Voice Changer, what we can do here is either record a new audio or upload one from our computer in order to change the voice. Let's try it and see how it works. We're going to select the audio we just downloaded.
Hey everyone, it is Alex here, and today we're tackling a question that has probably crossed most of our minds. Will AI eventually replace our job?
Now I'm going to give it the same name, but I'll add the number 2 just to be able to recognize it, and then we'll select a different voice. For example, this time we can choose a female voice.
Hey, this is what I sound like. You can use me for narration, videos, or...
I'm going to select this one right here. Now I'll check this box, generate the voice, and wait a moment. In theory, what should happen is that it will be the same text, just with a different voice. All right, it's been created. It was very fast, so let's click play.
Hey everyone, it is Alex here, and today we're tackling a question that has probably crossed most of our minds. Will AI eventually replace our jobs? It is a big, scary question, and honestly, the answer isn't a simple yes or no. We're going to dive into the reality of what is happening.
Okay, as you can see, it's pretty easy. For example, if you want to record an audio directly here, it has to be a maximum length of 1 minute. But if you want to upload a pre-recorded audio, the maximum length can be up to 10 minutes. Then we have this option that says Create Audio, which is basically the same option we just saw earlier when selecting a voice. Next, we have the My Audio section. This is where all the audios you've already generated are stored. Then we have this option called Voice Maker. Here, you can create a completely new voice. This is useful when you want to create a video, and maybe none of the available voices convince you. Neither your own cloned voice, nor any of the existing ones. And let me tell you, there is also a voice library. So before moving on to this option, I want to show you the library where many users have uploaded their voices and made them public, so they're available for anyone to use. Let's listen to a few of them.
Hey, this is what I sound like. You can use me for narration, videos, or any project you imagine.
Honestly, there are a lot of voices.
Hey, this is what I sound like. You can use me for narration, videos, or any project you imagine.
Hey, this is what I sound like. You can use me for narration, videos, or any project you imagine.
Hey, this is what I sound like. You can use me for narration, videos, or any project you imagine.
It's really just a matter of choosing the one that best fits what you want to create.
Hey.
That preview was very short.
Hey, this is what I sound like. You can use me for narration, videos, or any project you imagine.
Hey, this is what I sound like. You can use me for narration, videos, or any project you imagine.
Hey, this is what I sound like. You can use me for narration, videos, or any project you imagine.
For example, I'm going to select this one here. We simply click on More, and it automatically gets added to our available options. Then, when we go back to where it says Create Audio and select a voice, we go to Select Category, and then choose Public Library, and that voice will now be available.
Hey, this is what I sound like. You can use me for narration, videos, or any project you imagine.
Alright, so if you want to create a different voice, you can do that as well. For example, let's create a new one here, a professional voice. In this case, we're going to create a professional horror voice. In the description field, I'll write that it's a male voice of a horror story narrator with a British accent. We check this box and click on Generate Professional Voice. The voice is now being created, so we just need to wait a moment. In the meantime, we can also create a creative voice. This can be useful for fictional characters, such as an angry ogre, an old pirate, and so on. So you just need to describe your character. For example, here under Voice Name, I'll write that it's a giant monster. And here in this field, I'll add a more detailed description. In this case, I'll keep it simple, a giant and imposing monster. We check this box and generate the voice. Now it gives us 5 options to choose from, so we can select the one that best matches what we're looking for.
Hey, this is what I sound like. You can use me for narration, videos.
Alright, I think the first option is out. Let's listen to this one.
Hey, this is what I sound like. You can use me for a narration.
Hey, this is what I sound like.
Hey, this is what I sound like. You can use me for narration. Hey, this is what I sound.
Okay, I think the second option is the closest match.
Hey, this is what I sound like. You can use me for a narration, videos, or any project you imagine.
So we're going to select it. Now we check this box and click on Generate Voice. And that's it. We now have both voices created. This one right here.
Hey, this is what I sound like. You can use me for a narration, videos, or any project you imagine.
And the horror story narrator voice.
In a world where technology continues to advance at an unprecedented pace, artificial intelligence has become an integral part of our daily lives.
So now these two voices are ready to be used with any type of text. Now, if we want to generate an audio, under Generate Audio, we can choose from System Voices, which are the voices that come built into the Clone Voice platform by default. We also have Clone Voices, which are the voices we uploaded and cloned ourselves, either recorded by us or voices we have the rights to use. We also have Designed Voices, which are the ones we created using this platform.
As the sun set behind the mountains, the sky transformed into a breathtaking...
In a world where technology continues...
Hey, this is what I sound...
And we also have the Public Library, which is where we selected some voices from. Now, there are still more options on this platform. For example, we can create podcasts. If we click here where it says Create New Podcast, we can choose the language, optionally add a URL, and then select different voices. We can choose up to 4 voices and also define the topic. For example, I recently came across this article where Elon Musk mentions that in the next 10 to 20 years, working will be optional thanks to artificial intelligence and robots. So we're simply going to copy the URL of the article, paste it into this field, and that's it. Here, we're going to select a voice.
Artificial intelligence is advancing faster than any tech.
For example, I'll select this one here and name it Alex. Then I'll select another voice. This time, I'll choose a designed voice, probably this one right here. Actually, let's change it to a female voice instead.
This is what I sound like.
Now we'll select a third voice, which will be a system voice, and a fourth one, which will be a designed voice. We'll keep the names that are suggested here. And for the topic of the conversation, I'll simply copy this text from here and paste it into this field. Now we check this box, click on Create New Podcast, and we need to wait a bit while the platform generates the entire podcast script. Okay, as you can see, it has generated different blocks, and each one represents a different speaker in the conversation. Alex, Jane, Alice, and Bob, all having a conversation with each other. As you can tell, it's a pretty complete podcast. At the beginning, we have an introduction, and at the end, we have a closing. So now let's generate this podcast. All right, now we just have to wait for all the audio to be generated. Great, our podcast has now been created. This one took a bit longer, about 13 minutes, but it's ready. So let's click play.
As the sun set behind the mountains...
As you can see, it generated a podcast that's approximately 11 minutes long. If you wanted a longer podcast, you could generate another one and then merge them into a single audio file. I'll explain how to do that in just a moment. But first, let's listen to a small portion of the podcast. I won't play the entire thing, just a few parts so you can hear how it sounds.
All right, everyone, buckle up, because today we're diving into a prediction that sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi novel, but it's coming from one of the most influential minds of our time, Elon Musk. He recently stated that in 10 to 20 years, work will be optional, and money will essentially be irrelevant, all thanks to AI and robotics.
Wow. I mean, it's a bold claim, isn't it? Work optional, money irrelevant. My first thought is always, is he being overly optimistic, or is there a genuine possibility here? Because it fundamentally changes everything we understand about society, economics, and even human purpose.
Honestly, it's both exciting and terrifying at the same time. On one hand, the idea of a world where basic needs are met and people
So many is a core part of who they are.
transition period would be an absolute nightmare, I predict. We're already
The control mechanism idea sounds great, but how do you control something that is orders of magnitude smarter than you?
and who builds that kill switch?
Idle maturity.
What about the human desire
Social stratification.
points?
That's a very cynical but potentially realistic view, Alice. Human nature isn't going to change just because...
All right, that was just a small sample so you can hear the result of a podcast created entirely with AI. Once you have it ready, you can simply download it to your computer. Now, another very interesting feature is that you can create music. Literally create music from scratch using this platform. It's very easy and fast. Here, where it says genre, you choose the type of music you want to create. For example, let's create a hip-hop track just to test this feature. Here we have different options. For example, we have a version 2 that is currently in beta. It seems to be newer, but let's see how it turns out. We can also customize it. That means if you already have song lyrics, you can simply paste them here. But in this case, we're going to generate everything entirely with AI. For example, in this field you could write a song about romantic relationships. But for this example, I'll choose hip hop again. And in this field I'll write a song about life in New York. So let's see what the result looks like. We check this box and click on Create Lyrics. Okay, it's ready. Now we just need to give the song a name. Here we have the verses and the chorus. If you want to make any changes, of course you can do that. In this case, I'm going to leave it exactly as it is. I'll check this box, generate the song, and now we have to wait again. Alright, the song has been generated. It only took about 3 minutes to generate. Pretty fast. So now let's click play and listen to it.
Woke up to the sirens, another 8 million stories. Jump for dreaming, chasing fleeting glories. Potholes in the shadows where the truth gets gritty. You gotta hustle hard just to survive this city. New York state of mind, yeah, the rhythm never fails. If you can make it here, you conquer all the trails. It's a fast lane, fever built on steel and sound. The greatest show on earth, always spinning round. Take the A-train deep beneath the heavy crown, drishing in the air without a single sound. Skyscrapers are pointing where the millions try to reach. Lessons learned fast, the knowledge that the streets teach. New York state of mind, yeah, the rhythm never fails. If you can make it here, you conquer all the trails. It's a fast lane, fever built on steel and sound. The greatest show on earth, always spinning round.
Well, there you have it. A song completely created with the help of AI. Of course, you can create unlimited songs. I'm thinking you could even create an entire channel focused on a specific music genre, all created 100% with AI. So there are a lot of possibilities. Honestly, this platform keeps surprising me more and more. Now, another very interesting feature is the ability to generate audiobooks. This option is very simple. All you have to do here is enter the name of the audiobook and select a voice. For example, you can choose a system voice, a cloned voice, a designed voice, or one from the public library. In this case, I'm going to select a cloned voice and choose the one called Narrator 1. As for the language, for now it's only available in English, but they'll most likely add more languages in the future. In the text field, you can add up to 30,000 characters. Basically, what you need to do here is paste the text from an already created ebook. For this example, I'm going to use an ebook that I own. In fact, I have a lot of them. I have more than 10,000 ebooks with resale rights, meaning all of them come with the rights to be resold. And that actually gives me another idea. If you're still watching this video, and I hope you are, I'm going to add an extra bonus. A collection of over 10,000 ebooks, all with resale rights. You can resell all of these ebooks at any price you want. They come in PDF format, and some of them also come in Word format, which means you can edit them. Many of them even include their own sales pages, and all of them come with resale rights licenses. All of these ebooks can be sold as is in PDF format, but you'll also be able to sell them as audiobooks. For example, I can copy the text here and paste it right here. And basically, all you have to do is keep copying and pasting all of this text. Alright, and as you can see, we're only at almost 1,000 characters so far, but we can go all the way up to 30,000. So, once you've completed at least 30,000 characters, you simply click on Create Audiobook. Then it takes you to the second step, where the text is separated into paragraphs. This is useful in case you want to make any edits or changes. The only thing you can't do here is add emotions. You can also listen to a preview,
Many small business owners and enterprisers got their beginning as,
but you can only preview the first 10 words. So once everything is ready, you simply click where it says Generate Audiobook, and the process is the same as with everything else. Now, earlier I mentioned that you can merge audios together. For example, this audio was just generated.
Many small business owners and enterprisers got their beginning as. The issue is, if you've been an
But let's say I want to combine it with another one. This one here is the podcast.
All right, everyone, buckle up, because today.
So if I want to merge it with this one,
Hey everyone, it is Alex.
I just click on this option, and I'll see checkboxes appear next to each audio. For example, I can select this one here. I can also select this other one, and I can select even more, like this one right here. Once I do that, I click on Confirm, and those audios will automatically be merged.
Many small business owners.
And as you can see, we now have a new merged audio. The original audios are still there. They're not deleted. The merged audio is simply created as a new audio.
Many small business owners and enterprisers.
Everyone, based. We're all Intuitive Leap.
So basically, you can merge all your audios. It's that simple. All right, now I'm going to show you another very interesting option called Design New Sound, which allows you to create background music for your videos. This is extremely useful if you need background or ambient music without dealing with copyright issues, since you can simply create it using AI. For example, here you enter the name of the music so you can recognize it later, and here you describe the type of music you want. You can be very detailed or keep it very simple. And if you're not sure what else to write, you can just select this option to enhance the prompt. So, we just click here, and done. Now it has given us a more detailed prompt suggestion. We can modify it or leave it exactly as it is. Now we click here, and at this point, you still have the option to edit it. The maximum duration can be adjusted up to 300 seconds. So we're simply going to generate this sound and wait a bit. I'm not sure how long it will take, but let's wait. All right, it took about a minute or less, so let's listen to it. As you can see, this platform is not only useful for cloning your voice, although that is the main feature and the one it's promoted for, but it actually includes many other features all in one place. The most important thing about all of this is that you don't have to make monthly payments. It's a one-time payment and you get lifetime access. All right, now let's take a look at another very interesting feature called Script Genie. We simply click here on Create New Script. And basically, this feature allows you to create video scripts based on other YouTube videos, even if they're not your own. This has nothing to do with plagiarizing content. It's about using the information that already exists in other videos. This can be useful for creating a summary or a review of a specific video, doing a reaction, or sharing your opinion about the topic discussed in that video. In this case, we're going to use this video as an example. I'm going to copy the title and paste it into the title field, and then I'll just add the word summary. I'll also copy the video URL and paste it here. All right, we can also add more videos if we want to base the script on additional information, but in this case, I'm going to leave it as it is. Here, as a suggestion, it tells us that we can create a summary of each video in about 2 minutes. In this case, I'm going to ask it to summarize this video in approximately 1 minute for a reel. We check this box and click on Generate Script. Now it's processing the information from the YouTube video, and we need to wait for it to generate the script. All right, it's been generated. We simply click on this icon that says Use Script. When we click here, it automatically takes us to the Create Audio option, where the script is already written for us. So basically, this is the same process we saw earlier for generating audio. Here, of course, we select a voice. It can be a cloned voice, a library voice, and so on. In this case, we're going to select this cloned voice, check this box, and create the audio. Okay, once again, we're taken to the second step we saw earlier. Now we generate the audio and wait. Alright, now we have our audio generated, so we click play to listen to it.
Imagine this. Your banking app freezes, funds gone. Drones hum overhead, sirens wail, and headlines declare, "The Great Reset is..."
And as you can see, there we have our summary. Well, those are all the features available inside the Clone Voice AI platform. Just as a reminder, if you want to get this platform, simply go to the link in the description of this video. You'll also receive some special bonuses: the AI video automation course, the faceless YouTube guide, and the complete collection of over 10,000 ebooks with resale rights that I mentioned earlier. But you'll only get these bonuses if you purchase Clone Voice AI through the link in the description of this video. So now you know. I hope this review was helpful. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.